Hello. Today, we're going to be talking about Stephen King and the thought process that went into writing Doctor Sleep. Now, from what I hear, Stephen King's a bit of a cuckoo nut, but we never judge a book by its cover now, do we? No, we do not. Stay tuned and we will find out what's going on in the brain of the master, Stephen King. Alright, so we're going to start by looking up some things about Stephen King so we can get in that big brain of his. His full name, Stephen Edwin King. He was born on 21st September 1947 in Portland, Maine. That's tough. Why you got... obviously he writes novels, horror books. He also, his alter egos are Richard Bachman and John Swithin. He's battled some drug issues. Alright. His father abandoned him. His friend was killed by a train, and he witnessed it, but he says he has no memory of the event. He holds a Bachelor of Arts in English. Don't care about that. Not interesting, not interesting. Not interesting. Don't care. Was a fan of the Red Sox. He has collaborated with many authors, including Peter Straub and Michael Jackson. Alright. King tries to write a minimum of 2,000 words per day. That just doesn't sound fun. Okay, he likes AC/DC. He likes the Shawshank Redemption. Okay, so other words, this man has had some traumatic experiences and used to be an alcoholic / coke addict who's had some tough times, you know. His friend got hit by a freaking train. Thank you. Okay, so the book I read by Stephen King is called Doctor Sleep, and it's about the next adventure of Danny Torrance, the little boy from The Shining. But now he's grown up and a bit of an alcoholic, but he's trying to get away from that because, you know, he doesn't want to end up like his father. So his ability, The Shining, is a bit of a psychic ability, and he uses this ability to help people pass on to the next life. And one day he ends up connecting with this little girl named Abra, and she has a stronger psychic ability than anyone Danny has ever met or felt through the psychic ability. But the antagonist of the story is called the True Knot, who travel across the country finding people with the Shining, and they torture them. And they're torturing them. Their Shining gives off sustenance for these people. And so one day, they torture somebody, they take their shine, and they get poisoned. And when they feel a little Abra, you know, the very powerful psychic being, they believe that if they torture her and take her shine from her, that, you know, they'll be healed. So a whole battle ensues, and the True Knot goes away, and Abra survives, and Danny makes it out. He helps Abra, helps guide her a little bit. And when all is said and done, Danny returns back to his job, and the last person he helps go to sleep, per se, is the woman that had haunted his dreams whenever he lived at the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. That is a tough one. To get in the mindset of one such as Stephen King, you gotta figure out how you can write about things that are so graphic and so violent. Some people gotta think something's wrong. Could it be writing about his past traumas? Could it be using his past drug and alcohol-induced era of his life to help fuel his writing? Or maybe he's just a normal guy with a lot to write about, and it just happens to the fact that it's really disturbing. We're going to try and figure that out. So in order to try and get in the mindset of Stephen King, we're going to have our drugs. These are our drugs. And our alcohols. This is water. But it's alcohol simulation. As we're going to do this as our part one of trying to get into the mindset of Stephen King. tasty beverage. Oh, tasty. Now, for right now, I'm not really feeling any effects. I'm not really feeling like I'm Stephen King. I don't really know why I would write about vampires hunting little girls yet. Maybe it's not the alcohols or the drugs for him. Because my vices, water and Junior Mints. Are not doing much. We're gonna try Trauma. So, obviously, the vices didn't really do much. You know, I'm not really feeling like I could write a whole story about a guy who grew up to avoid being like his dad and helps people die. That's just not something that's in my mind right now. So, we're going to try and go through childhood trauma. I'm going to act like 11-year-old me, and I'm going to be traumatized, I guess. All right, let it at. That's a belt. What is this? Bitter spray. Back away, demon! It's limits! Okay. Oh, God. I don't really feel traumatized. I just feel pain. But not the kind of pain where I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Psychic vampires are gonna go and steal psychic powers from little children. So, next we're gonna try and have an important figure leave the family, I guess. Stay tuned. Okay. So, in order to simulate somebody important like my father leaving, we've got a fathead of nameless person that I will not name, Peter. And, you know, super important to my family. This is like my second father, or my real father. You don't know that. So, we're gonna pretend like he's leaving the family, okay? Dang. My second dad, he just left me. Oh, shoot. What am I gonna do, man? Am I gonna write a book where my childhood nightmares come back to haunt me? Like that old woman did to Tanny? Or Danny? I don't think so. Okay, so you've seen me try and shake up the things of the past, you know. I've tried the vices. His were alcohol and drugs. Mine were candy and water. Oh, very similar things, you know. Excuse me. You know, number 2, I try to go through childhood trauma. You know, and that didn't really do much to me, you know. Just nerves of steel. And then we try to have somebody important leaving you. Yeah, I didn't really feel much there either. What do I need to do to get into the mindset of Stephen King? We'll see.
Please.
What? What do you want? What's going on? What? Hi.
CNN News, just trying to interview you.
Okay,
So, what have you been dealing with in the Stephen King mindset?
You know, I don't think I'm like crazy or nothing, you know? Like, I don't feel like I'm Stephen King at all. Like, I've been trying to get in that mindset for like months now, you know? The mindset where you're like, yeah, I want to write about people that murder people, you know? And I'm just trying to emulate them, you know? And I'm trying to get there, you know? I'm trying to figure out what the mindset is of a person who's like, yeah, murder, death, weird murder stuff, yeah. And I don't know if I've got there yet.
Sir, what have you got there in your hand?
Teeth.
And why are you playing the guitar?
'Cause music.
So what propelled you into this subject? What made you think about the mindset of Stephen King?
Well, I had to read this book once, and it was called Dr. Sleep. And one of the questions that we were asked was like, what do you think made the author want to write this? And you know what? I've been trying to figure that out for a long time, and I really feel like I should have picked some stupid person who was wrote some stupid tween novel, and not somebody who's actually complex. I should have probably been the rest of the people in where I can come from, but instead, I chose somebody complex because I was like, you know what, this would be interesting, but no, I had to choose a freaking crazy person, and I can't find out what's going on.
Sir, are you alright?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. What's up?
One last question. If you had to say one thing to Stephen King, what would it be?
Asian carp suck.
From CNN News, I'm Thomas Jones, the ninth. From NBC News, I'm LaQuisha Queen Latifah. Sir, there's been a delay in your Stephen King writing. What's been going on with your attempts to get into the mindset of Stephen King?
Really not been having that much success. I'm really trying to do everything that I can, and I just don't think I'm getting there. I just don't think I'm getting where I want to be. Sometimes you just have to think about certain things, and when you think about those things, you're like, I'm getting, I can't do it. God, I love the Red Sox.
Do you believe that you are now becoming Stephen King?
What did I just say? Huh? What did you say?
You love the Red Sox?
I said no! Get out of my...
Steven from ABC News. Listen, we've been researching a documentary about Stephen King and a person who's trying to adapt the mindset of him, and we found it right here. Thoughts on that, Steven? 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 Steven, are you okay? Steven!
I believe in magic! Owen, please go. I can use and a little boy's gonna grow up, and he's gonna drink just like his daddy, and then he's gonna help people die. He's gonna help people die. Then, there's gonna be a little girl. And the little girl's gonna be stronger than anyone at this ability. But there's gonna be vampires, and the vampires, they don't like this ability at all. No, they don't. They eat it, they eat it, they eat it, they eat it, they feed off of it. They feed off of it. Yes, they feed off of it. And this little girl could cure him of a disease. Yes, they believe this little powerful little girl's gonna cure him of a disease, and they're gonna hurt her bad. They're gonna hurt her real bad. Really bad. But Daddy's not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna write a book. Really try to give the whole Stephen King thing a really good shot. And sometimes you just can't get into the mindset of people. Doesn't mean you can't be different people.